Hey there, friends. Another wild and crazy week in the United States. It's just, things are crazy, man. We're seeing more and more layers being peeled back on the evil that exists inside this country. Let me ask you guys a quick question, and I want you to think about it clearly. Are you more fearful for your family and your own safety in the hood, in a bad part of town, in a seedy, meth-infested trailer park, at 2 a.m. in the morning, goofing off in the street, or driving home from work? Think about that. Are you at more danger at 2 a.m., downtown Chicago, basketball courts, hanging out on a street corner, 2 a.m. in Chicago, Detroit, wherever, or where you currently live, simply driving home from work? Watch this video and we'll talk more about it.
A man caught on camera firing a gun at random walking down the street. The disturbing act is the reason another man is dead, killed by a bullet while driving by. This all happened in San Jacinto at 7th and State Streets. Inland Empire Bureau Chief Rob McMillan talks to a witness. New at 5.
Surveillance video showing a man armed with a semi-automatic handgun walking down State Street in San Jacinto, then indiscriminately firing at random cars on the road. After appearing to empty the clip, he tosses it, but the damage was done. Several vehicles struck by gunfire, along with 2 people. One of them, 42-year-old Victor Leon, was killed.
It's so sad, very sad.
Enrique Torres owns E&E Tires on State Street. It was his surveillance cameras that picked up this video of the suspect early Monday morning. He says they heard at least 30 shots.
In the back, there were like 5 or 6 people working, And, I was afraid that he might probably get inside my business and start shooting at people, because he just started shooting just like that, boom, 2 cars, 2 windows, 2 doors.
Just moments before the shooting in front of the car wash, the suspect had walked north on State Street, coming from a strip mall about half a block south, where surveillance video inside a market picked him up too. That video showing the suspect walking into El Toro Market, workers describing him as nervous and sweaty, eventually walking up to a cashier and asking her to buy a shot of liquor, but he only had $1. So he leaves, moments later pulling out a gun and opening fire. The suspect, identified as 39-year-old Julio Rodarte, then ditching the gun and taking off all his clothes as he walked away.
You said he took his clothes off, like completely?
Yeah, completely naked. Yeah, he took them off and he just kept walking.
Rodarte was arrested on suspicion of murder and 10 counts of attempted murder.
This man was driving home from work only minutes from his home. Father of 4. Driving home from a legitimate job. I don't mean slinging dope or doing something stupid to gain money. This man trying to make an honest living and raise his family. Minutes from work. And this lunatic, this evil bastard, shoots him and somebody else, killing him. The reason why I asked the question at the beginning of the video is because the media is hell-bent on making you think that we have mass shootings all over this country, and they water it down. It's the boy crying wolf. They water the whole thing down to where we shrug off the, quote, mass shootings because they're not really in any danger to us. There have been 2, up to now, 2 mass killings in this country for the whole almost half of the year so far. Only 2. Yet they advertise 100 and something. It's a lie. So whenever I debunk and show you that these gun violence archive numbers of mass shootings are a lie, I think we start to dismiss them, and rightfully so, because they're not a danger to us and our family. And let's face it, if the people in charge of legislation and policy don't want to help those people, it's not my job to do it. I fear for them, I pray for them, and I hope for them. But nobody's going to listen to me. I've pointed out solutions to their inner city problems. They don't want to hear them. Anything that you recommend pulls power from the people who are keeping them in chains, right? So they have done such a magnificent job of wrapping the gang shootings in with the mass shootings to where people don't know what's going on. They've also painted themselves into a corner because, like the video I put out yesterday, which was a true mass killing where the 3-year-old little boy was stabbed in the face and the back indiscriminately by somebody, that is the one where we all worry that our families are susceptible to that. Because I bring my son to the grocery store every single week. This lady walked out of a grocery store and that happened, right? Because they used a knife and only 2 people were attacked. The Gun Violence Archive and nobody else in the media can list this in their mass shooting categories because they were so hell-bent on making the gun the issue that they overlooked the problem, and now they created a definition that they can't fit everything into. So while that would be a great story from yesterday, they can't use it. This story today, kind of the same thing. There were 6 vehicles shot at, but only 2 people were hit. My original question: 2 a.m. in the morning, downtown Chicago. Are you going to be there? You going to the street party tonight? Or I should say, tomorrow morning at 2 a.m.? You going to be there? No? I can make an absolute guarantee. If you are not at a street party at 2 a.m. in downtown Chicago, you ain't going to get shot and you ain't going to die in Chicago tonight or tomorrow morning, right? I can make that guarantee 100% all day long. However, those of you who work for a living, do you drive home from work? Heck, do you walk home from work? It doesn't matter how you get home. Do you go from your job to your house? Yes. This evil bastard shot at these people on their way home from work, but only shot 2 people. It's not going to be included in the, quote, mass shooting statistics that are being used to make people feel fearful and to make people think that this is the type of thing that could happen at any given moment. Well, this one was. The gang shooting in Chicago is not. Yet you include those in the mass shooting numbers to attempt to make us go, oh my God, this is an epidemic. Any of us could be shot at any given moment. No, we wouldn't. But this particular shooting, you should be worried about, because this could happen to you at every given moment. But the media and the Gun Violence Archive can't use this one. Because 1, it was a minority who shot somebody. 2, only 2 people got shot. So none of them can use this. Again, this is another one that will quietly go away. But this one is the one we should be looking at. This is a rampage killing. I call them rampage killings in my book for a reason. The reason why I call them rampage killings is because simply calling them rampage even shootings is disingenuous, because I worry about every indiscriminate attack on innocent Americans that can pop off at any given time, regardless of the tool, time of day, location, or anything like that. So calling them an actual killing is more accurate than a shooting, because yesterday's attack on the woman and her 3-year-old that got killed was with a knife. That's a rampage killing. That is an indiscriminate killing that we should all worry about. And this guy shooting indiscriminately into traffic, he doesn't know who he's shooting at. So this is certainly not a confrontational shooting. It's not a gang-related shooting, because he's just shooting he's not even making eye contact with the people he's shooting at. In fact, probably all he sees is a vehicle. He's likely not seeing the person in the car at all. So he doesn't know the race, the gender, anything of these people in these cars. So this guy is legitimately this is the most indiscriminate shooting and attack on people I think I've ever seen. Because like I said, there's no way he sees these people. The glare on the windshields and the fact that they're moving at 35 miles an hour, whichever. This guy's not seeing these people. This is truly indiscriminate. This is the kind of thing that we all should worry about, because this could happen in any of our communities. Now, I don't think this guy would be as successful in just any community, because remember, this was California. Very strict gun laws. In most other communities, a guy walking down the street on a sidewalk right next to the road, emptying his magazine into the passing by cars, That's not going to end the same way in most of your red communities, if you catch my drift. There will be more than 2 deaths, if you catch my drift. This is important. These last 2 reports, these last 2 days that I've put out, these 2 indiscriminate attacks on innocent people are way more worrisome than the 100 and something, quote, mass shootings that we've had this year. Because these 2 could affect you.
God save the Queen, man.
I'm sorry, I thought this was America. He's over.